friends, welcome back. It's been a hot second since I have had a chance to talk to you guys, so I am so excited to be posting today's video and seeing what you guys have been up to. I have missed everyone. As you can see, we had some family in town. We have a lot of visitors for Christmas. We went and toured the Christmas lights that they set up every year for Christmas. We usually go, and the show is always so beautiful. We also had a ton of gift wrapping. We had birthdays. This is my oldest son. He turned 15, so that was super exciting and a really fun day. We just had a really beautiful holiday, spending time with family and friends. We spent a whole afternoon making pierogies. My daughter really took the lead on this one, and she made so much of this meal all by herself, so we were super proud. But this is the disaster after that wonderful holiday that we were left with. This cleaning up, we had so much, and of course, the day after Christmas, I fell really, really ill. If you've been around for a while, you will know that since my last pregnancy, I have really struggled with hormonal issues, and it has affected a lot of my health, at least more than I ever really expected it to. So I fell really, really ill the day after Christmas, and I was in bed for multiple days, and this was kind of just all the mess and everything piled up from Christmas, from having Christmas parties, from not being able to get out of bed. And my husband really did try to keep on top of things, but he is not really the main person that cleans. I'm home every day. I do a majority of the cleaning, so it's not something that he's really used to. He does help quite a bit around the house. You can see him helping here. He does a lot of the dishes for us, but it's not something that he's used to doing, so it doesn't really come like first nature, is that how you say? But he really tried, and just when you have a ton of kids and during this time, I think it's basically impossible to keep your house so tidy this time of year. You have so many people in and out of your house, and I don't think it's possible to keep it clean. So I am finally feeling significantly better, and we decided just to tackle the house. We spent the day tackling the house together. The kids helped too. You just don't really see them as often because they don't love being on camera, aside from my two younger ones who think that this is their show. But my older two ones just aren't as impressed. So they do help out, but it's a lot of the time out of camera shot because I'm trying to be respectful. They're teenagers. They're at that age where, they can make their own decisions, and being on camera is just one that they don't love. They will show up occasionally, but I always let them know when we are taping so they have that opportunity to kind of just stay out of camera view. A lot of times they're actually directly behind the camera, and they like to play cameraman, my older two. So yeah, that's kind of just what we've been up to the last couple of weeks, but I am so excited to hear how your guys' holiday went. I would love for you to let me know in the comments. I know I had several people reach out to me on here and also on Instagram, just kind of wishing my family well and letting us know that we're in their thoughts. And I always appreciate you guys so, so much. I know that a lot of you that have been following for a while know about my son and know that that this holiday season, our first without him, was just going to be super difficult, and his second birthday fell right before Christmas. So it was his first heavenly birthday, and although it was a very fun and magical time because of the holidays, it was very much heavy on our hearts. So I really appreciate everybody that reached out to me, and just know if you are new and you would like to reach out to me, you can find my Instagram link below and reach out anytime. Feel free. I love talking to you guys, and it meant the world to me that you took the time to reach out and just check on our family. So I wanted to let you guys know I so much appreciate you. You guys are the reason that I have this channel and I continue to keep going. I started this YouTube for the support, and I am so happy that a couple months later, I have such a great support system with you guys. This community has been wonderful, and I can't even explain how amazing you guys are. So thank you. So I didn't realize how much of a thing this was probably until this year. I kind of thought I was just like the odd one out, but I realized this year that that's not the case thanks to social media. But I love Christmas. I love the holidays, but as soon as Christmas is over, I am like itching to take down all the decorations. And I think it's just from being overwhelmed by everything. I almost feel claustrophobic, like I have like struggled to breathe or something. That seems dramatic, I know, but it's just, I don't know what it is. And I thought it was just me because my kids and my husband, they're like, no, let's leave it up a little longer. And I haven't always been like this. I used to be like years ago, that person that wanted to keep the tree up, and, you know, it would be like kind of, we're like approaching February or something. And my husband's like, okay, come on, we need to take this down. It's in the front window. We're going to start, you know, embarrassing ourselves or something. But so I haven't always been like this. So I don't know why I am now. Just overstimulating or what, but I've been like this for a couple of years. And I was sick. So the tree stayed up a little longer than I wanted. But I mean, people left our house, because we host on Christmas. So we had like 30 or 40 people at our house for Christmas. And when they left our house on Christmas Day, I looked at my husband. I'm like, oh, okay, are you ready to take the tree down? We didn't, but you know, he wanted to leave it up. And then I ended up getting sick and not dealing with it for a couple of days. But this was the day we were like, we need to take down decorations. And it was funny because my husband at this point, he's like, I need to take this stuff down. And even after, he kept talking about like, I am so glad we got all the Christmas stuff down. I know what you mean. It makes you feel like claustrophobic. So it was kind of funny because this was the first year that he has been like that. And like I said, I saw for probably the first time, I don't know if I just never paid attention before or what, but a lot of people on social media were also kind of portraying like they're the same way, that Christmas is done and over with, and you're like, all right, I'm done, take it all down. They're overstimulated. And I think it's just because, I don't know, do we put too much emphasis on Christmas for too long, and then by the time you're just done with it once it's over. So that is how we were this day. I had not made bread in a while, so I was making bread. We hadn't been cleaning, so we were cleaning. And then we're going to get to taking down all the Christmas decorations. And I know that it leaves your house feeling so empty, but I don't care. I love that feeling. Sometimes, you know, you just need that, especially after the holidays when you have so much stuff up. I mean, we have 2 trees, we have wreaths. I mean, it's just like everything. And I'm not even a person that necessarily goes over the top for the holidays, like decorating wise, but it just becomes too much. And so my house feels super empty right now, but I'm totally cool with it. I also feel like whenever you're taking down Christmas decor, really anytime you're like switching out decor, but it really hits me hard when I'm taking Christmas decor down, that I feel like strongly you have to just wipe everything down. You just have to give everything a really good cleaning, because it's pretty much the emptiest my house is like all year round. So I just take advantage of that and I wipe everything down. I mop everything, vacuum, just everything. So then you're left with very minimal stuff, at least we are, and everything just feels clean. It feels like a fresh new start, and that's how I really love starting the new year. So that's what I'm doing here. Everybody was at our house touching everything, and I'm just making sure that it's all wiped down and starting the year out fresh. And if it seems like it has taken a bajillion years for my husband to do the dishes, it's because it has. um, I mean, this is sped up, but not like a crazy amount, but there was so many dishes. And we had just had lunch. I made those viral TikTok sandwiches, and then I made bread. So I was just like continuously giving him all these dishes. And he was such a champ and stood there the whole time and he washed all of them. And then if you have been here for a hot second, you know that our dishwasher sucks and we are going to be getting a new one. I just have not had the mental capacity to figure out that whole thing just yet. So that is coming in the future, but he's kind of just using it right now as a drying rack. And then of course we have a million kids, so they come in and out and need our attention, and you know, they're all excited about all their new things, all their new toys, and so they kept coming in and showing us that and needing his attention because, you know, he's the dad. And so I feel so bad, but he spends like majority of this time taking things out of boxes and charging things and putting things together and putting batteries in. And it's just, I don't know, it's kind of funny to us. But so yeah, he was doing that, and that's why it seemed like it took this entire video for him to do dishes, because he volunteered to do them and I was kind of just had my mind on other things, and we were just tackling it together. It ended up working out really, really well. But yeah, the kids were in and out like, oh, can you put batteries in this, or can you help me charge that? And what is with the toys these days? I just have to say it. What is with the toys these days having the like 2-inch chargers and no USB box, or I don't even know what it's called, you know, the box that goes in the wall, and then you put the charger connected to the box, and then it's like 2 inches of a charger. I do not understand it, but it's kind of getting out of hand. We have 1.5 million of these itty bitty chargers, and I'm just like going nuts. We have this, I think everybody has this box in their house with all of random cords and chargers and just, you know, all the electronic boxes, what we call it at our house. But ours is full, like literally bursting at the seams at this point after this Christmas, because the kids got all these little gadgets. And I mean, the randomest things, like I thought would take batteries. We have like a hovering soccer ball, for instance, and I thought that ran on batteries. Turns out it also needs charged and has the world's smallest charger attached to it. So after getting all of these things for Christmas, we have so many of these. I don't understand it. I don't know why and at what point we switched to doing this. I mean, we got our oldest son a new phone for his birthday this year, and it didn't even come with the little box. They don't come with the charging box anymore. So you have to buy those for like 30 or 40 bucks separately. And it just drives me insane. I'm like going off on a tangent, I know, but I do not understand why we're going in this direction. We have, you know, you're already paying an arm and a leg. Why are we not getting the full stuff anymore? Just wild to me. I always have people ask what this book is here in the kitchen. It is called The Beautiful Boards book. I got it on Thrift Books online, and I love it. It has just a bunch. I don't ever make the stuff in. I've actually thought about it, but I have not made anything in this book. It's just way too much, too fancy, but I think it's beautiful, so I like to keep it out and decorate with it. And my kids actually enjoy it too. So I was switching the picture from Christmas to a New Year's like countdown one, and I got new oils for my oil diffuser, so I was going to go put those in. I love the scent, the sweet orange, that's what this one is, and then I can't remember what I put the other one in, but so I put them in and started it up. I don't always do this, especially with this one, but I don't know, something about just cleaning everything, wiping everything down, and having the house smell and feel fresh was my vibes this day. So that's what I was doing here. I'm also really big on working in one room at a time. So that's why you don't always see us jumping from room to room. My husband and I decided just to tackle one room at a time. And so I like to completely finish the room before moving on to the next room. That way I can kind of just mentally cross it off in my head, and we can move on to the next and know that it's done. So he finally finished dishes, yay for him. And I am sweeping the floors so they can be mopped and we can move on to the next room. I think actually at this point I was finishing up in the kitchen and my husband's like, I need to take down the tree. So him and my daughter, they started working on that in the next room. I always struggle with that time period right after Christmas when you take down all the decorations. I never know what to put in its place, and I don't know why, but it always takes me months to figure it out. Like, I don't know what my house is supposed to look like or something. So that's why my mantle in the kitchen was like really bare and kind of sporadic. And even this section right here, on the island, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And that tree, I love it. I got it from the Target dollar section back when things were actually $1 there. But so I've had it for a while, but it kept tipping over. So it's no longer there. I switched it out with a vase that I had there before, but I'm like, I took everything down. I'm like, I have no idea what this is even supposed to look like. And this is all, not necessarily, that pile there was garbage, but the rest of this is kind of just boxes that we put all of our ornaments and all of our decorations and the pillows and all that stuff in for Christmas. So he kind of brought it all down from the attic and was sporadically placing it, so we can take down the trees and take down all the things and put them away. Now, please remind me next year that I need to find a better system, because, and I tell myself this every single year and I ignore myself every year. So really push it next year for me, please. But I need to get like legit. I have some. Okay, let me just start over. So I do have some like legitimate Christmas totes. We have one for a tree. We have another one for ornaments. But since living here, because we had those, I mean, back before we even moved, we've had them for a really long time. But I need to spend the time and the money and be more intentional about it, because at this point we're just like not even organizing anything. It's just being thrown into boxes, and part of that is because my husband and daughter are just like, let's just get it down and get it away, and I'm trying to stay out of it, but it really needs organized. And I was thinking this after they had boxed everything up, like, man, we have like actual boxes instead of the tote boxes that have like the locks and stuff, and we need to just try better for next year. So please do me a favor and remind me. Oh, he was showing you his Bigfoot ornament. He found it like 2 years ago, and he thinks it's funny to put it on like our fancy decorative tree or whatever, instead of the tree with like all the random ornaments. So he wanted everybody to see that he does have an ornament on this tree. But anyway, so back to my rambling about Christmas boxes. They're so unorganized, and I regret it every single year, because then when we bring stuff down to actually decorate, it's just kind of a free-for-all. You're like, you don't even know where anything is. You think like the whole time, oh, I'm missing stuff. And then halfway through Christmas, you find random stuff and you're like, see, I knew I was missing things. So I need to do better next year and probably plan better, get more totes and organize. Is that just me? Do normal people organize this stuff? I mean, I still have wrapping paper in my closet, and I can almost promise you that it will stay there until next Christmas for us to use. I don't have one of those containers for wrapping paper, and so a lot of the time I will put it in like our master bedroom closet. I have this like little area where I can stash basically just garbage in, and I really should organize it. I'm going to. This year I'm going to organize my closet, but today's not that day. So anyway, again, remind me next year to do better for Christmas. So they had gotten, at this point, all of the decor off the tree, and we were just kind of disassembling it. And then my husband, he knocked out the power for this whole wall here, and we were kind of waiting for it to come back on. So our internet box and the power, just everything, it comes right before where this rock wall starts, kind of by where I'm standing here. And it's a pain in the butt, actually, that it's right there. But so that's why, I don't know, he hit some switch or something and everything had kicked off, and we were waiting for it to kick back on. But I love how they're doing trees now. So this tree is, I think it's our newest one. And I love how it's just like in 3 pieces. The tree that they're going to take down in a minute, it's the one where like it has, you know, that pole in the middle that attaches to the legs, and then all the branches are put in separately. It's a pretty old tree. I mean, it is really old now that I'm thinking about it, but it's still really, you know, great quality and all that. But it is not, once you have a tree that is only 3 pieces, it is really hard to go back and be like, oh, yeah, this is fine, dealing with 100.5 pieces for another tree. I'm putting away our nativity scene now because I need to take the greenery off the mantle. And if you've seen any other video, you will know that we got it out of our yard and it looked very pretty. I added, you know, bows and ribbons and bells and all kinds of stuff to it. It looked very pretty. However, I was unaware that I needed to like water it or spray it, or I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to soak it before I put it up. And so it started drying out. And then if you just looked at it wrong, I mean, all the things would come off and go all over our floor. So I am so glad to be getting that down and not having to deal with that mess anymore. But that's why I was picking up all the stuff below it first and putting away the nativity scene and all that first, which is, the nativity scene is something I'm probably going to have to replace next year. I don't know how long my mother-in-law had it, but I think it was from my husband's like childhood. So it is very old. It's from Sears, and our youngest son last year, before he passed away, he loved the nativity scene. And so we would always catch him with the ceramic people in it. And he ended up, if you've seen my other videos, Joseph did not have a head. Well, he had a head, it just wasn't attached to his body. And we tried multiple times to glue it, and it just, I don't know, it wouldn't stay on. So Joseph was just like sitting next to his head. So I think I don't know if I can even find the pieces or if I'll have to buy new, but I'll deal with that next year, maybe getting a new nativity set. And then I was just asking Kyle, I'm like, because I keep putting candles up with the Christmas stuff, and we are now putting it in our attic. We used to put them downstairs in a storage room that we have, but we switched to putting all of our Christmas stuff up in the attic upstairs, and I was afraid the candles would melt. So I just put them back on our mantle. So it doesn't really go with anything, but I'm not really sure what to do with them at this point. I don't want to put them downstairs and then they get lost and we don't use them anymore or whatever. So until I figure that out, I just put them back on the mantle. If you were wondering what they were doing there, my husband's upstairs taking the greenery off of the railing, and I had put like ribbons and ornaments, and he didn't realize that I actually put glass ornaments, which now that I'm thinking about it, probably isn't the smartest thing, because he's up there and he didn't realize they were glass and one of them broke. So my daughter was actually sitting below on the couch and he was tossing her the ornaments and she was catching them gently on the couch and then putting them in the box that was next to her. So they made it a game, and that's what they were doing there. And now that I'm watching this, it doesn't even look like it is making you'll see in a second, this made a disaster of a mess, but I was kind of afraid to touch it, why I was like holding it like that, because when I was putting this up, I didn't wear gloves because I really didn't know what I was doing. And I had like little pricks in my fingers for a couple of days from these. So I was kind of afraid to touch them. I didn't want to get all those little pricks in my fingers again, but I didn't. I think because it was so dried out, it really didn't do any of that. But man, it was such a disaster, and I'm going to have to do something else, because once I had that up, it's not like I can spray them with water or anything. The TV was right there, and I don't know. It was a huge mess. I'll have to just probably get fake stuff next year for it. So speaking of next year, does anybody have any resolutions or anything that they're doing for this upcoming year? I don't usually make like resolutions. I try to make goals. Not necessarily, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just fall out of resolutions. I think that's just a normal thing. I have goals that I kind of like to work towards throughout the year. So that's what I do. And I know that's kind of the same, but whatever. So I have a bunch of goals for this year that I am hoping to just work towards, and I'm kind of really excited about them. I am excited that the holidays are over. I love them, but I'm just excited to start fresh, have a fresh start. We have been through so much, and maybe that's why I'm really feeling that this year, because we have been through so much the last 2 years. In 2023, we were dealing with our son that was just born. We were dealing with him being very, very sick, and we started, homeschooling and stuff like that to try to keep him healthy. We were constantly on edge, and we were crazy busy running to all these doctor's appointments. He ended up being put in the hospital many times. He had surgeries that year. He had multiple different procedures that he had to do, and we lost ourselves. We definitely lost ourselves that year in 2023. And then, in 2024, he had more procedures. And then I don't know if I've ever said this on my channel, but he actually passed away during a procedure that was supposed to save his life. So we weren't expecting it, and it hit us very hard. And obviously we dealt with grieving most of 2024. It's just the last 2 years have been very difficult for us, and I'm so excited to start a new year, I think, because I just want to work towards healing. Not that I haven't, but I feel like towards the end of 2024, it kind of aggressively hit me where I just need to start healing. I need to feel better mentally, physically, just everything, and really work towards my goals and get out of the slump that we have been in for the last 2 years. So I am so excited. And I'm not one of those people that's like, new year, new me. But I am so set on 2025, kind of being a new me. I think it's something that my family really needs. We really need to heal after these last 2 years. And I am so excited to work towards that. I am so excited to start feeling better. So I know that I have some major goals for this year, and not necessarily that I want to accomplish them for this coming up year, but I am really excited to work towards them. So I'll share in another video, kind of some of the goals that I'm hoping to work towards this year. But one of them is really my health. And like I said, mentally and physically, I'm having these hormonal problems. I've been having them. They're making it really difficult for me to lose weight. So I am trying a couple different things, and I actually kind of was trying them while I was sick too. After you eat all that junk and stuff over the holidays, it feels so much better to eat vegetables. So that's kind of what I've been doing the last couple weeks, is just trying to work towards feeling better. And it feels really good. I've also started working on taking more just personal time for myself. And I feel like that's really important for self-care. So I really enjoy reading. I have not always enjoyed reading, but probably since like COVID, I've really enjoyed it. And so I got some new books for Christmas, and I'm taking the time to read. I also arranged for a small group of friends. We are reading some of the same books and doing like a book club type of thing. I've never done a book club, but I thought it'd be fun, and we're always talking about the same books, so I figured why not? It will help me, and them. They're like me, where they could really use some just me time. So that is what we're doing. We're going to get together in January and talk about the book that we read. And I'm hoping that can kind of be a thing that we stick to. I know it's hard when you have busy schedules, but I'm really hoping that we can kind of stick to that. And then I've also started counting my steps again and trying to be more active. So that is something that I'm just slowly starting, and then I'll build up on it once I can kind of get through everything, and it will just be easier. But if you are interested at, reading together or being accountability buddies with steps or anything like that, feel free to message me and we can work something out. I'm so excited to do these things for myself, and I would love, it always makes it better when you can do it with your friends, right? So I would love if any of you are also interested in doing these things. We could definitely do them virtually too. So if you're interested, just send me a message and we'll figure something out. We have moved on to our second tree. This is our kids' tree mostly. We let them kind of just go ham with it every single year. So they have all their homemade ornaments and colorful lights and basically whatever they want to put on this tree, they put on this tree. So they have some silly things that they put on it. They just kind of do whatever they want. And because we have, our tree that my husband and I mostly just decorate, they love being able to decorate this for them. So that's what they're doing. They're taking down this tree. And we actually noticed when we were taking it down that some of the lights weren't working anymore, which is another thing that I'm not going to go off on a tangent about, but lights are not the same as they used to be. We have not even had these lights. It scared me for a second while I was watching, because my daughter, I don't know what she was pulling on, but the tree, I was like, oh my gosh, is the tree gonna fall? I did not remember this. I don't even think you see me for the rest of this video because I was making dinner in the kitchen, but so I didn't know that the tree was going to fall there. But anyway, so yeah, we haven't had these lights for very long, and half of the strands aren't working. So we tested them all. That's what my husband's doing there. He went over to an outlet and is testing them to see if we're keeping them or if we're going to have to get new. So I don't know. It's just kind of wild. I feel like even the pre-lit trees, I constantly see them every year where like part of the pre-lit doesn't work, which we just now, the other tree that we took down, that is pre-lit, and that's our first pre-lit tree that we've owned. So I mean, what do you do in those situations? Do you call someone? I mean, is there a way to fix that? I don't even know. This is just now popping into my head. So I hope it lasts for a while. We've had it for like 3 or 4 years now, but this is not a pre-lit tree, obviously, and the lights are starting to go out, and they're like 2 years old, maybe. They're not very old at all, so that kind of stinks. I feel like they're not as good as they used to be. So I am wrapping up the video because there's not much more going on, and I'm noticing that I think the last few videos I haven't really done a lot of like cooking or meals. So my coming videos, I am going to be adding those back in. I know people liked seeing the recipes and having that just for, examples or ideas. So I will be adding that. I did say that I was in the kitchen cooking dinner at this point. So I do show it in a minute. I have to finish up the bread. So that's what I was doing. And then also I just made a quick dinner because I had been sick, and I don't know, I'm kind of in that area where it's like I don't really want to cook. I feel fine now, but I'm struggling a little bit after. It's like that holiday blues type of thing. I don't know. But anyway, so I just made something really easy. My daughter, one of her favorite meals is spicy potato tacos. I have them on my meal plans quite frequently because my kids love them, and they're super easy. I started them like 2 years ago. The night that I started making them, we didn't have any meat thawed, and so I don't know, I was just trying to think of ideas, and randomly Taco Bell has those. They have something similar. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna try making that at home. So we did, and it was a huge hit, and so that's what I did here. I was making spicy potato bowl tacos, or taco bowls, I guess. So I just did like a tortilla. We did potatoes, and I kind of saute them and make them with, I don't use taco seasoning, but similar things. And then we didn't have any lettuce. I like really need to go grocery shopping, but we didn't have a lot of things. So I ended up adding radishes and maybe cucumbers, and then I make like a spicy mayo sauce that goes on top, and the kids devoured them. So I will show you them in just a second. And again, I was finishing up the bread for the week, and that is what I'm doing here. But that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I have definitely missed you guys. And starting next week, I will be back to a pretty normal schedule. I'm sorry, it's just life got in the way the last few weeks, but I have missed you guys so much. And next week, we will be back to a normal schedule. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.